It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a beer exclusively brewed for ASDA. It's by Badco and it's the American IPA, coming in at 5.2% ABV. Really reasonably priced beer, this. There you go. Brewed exclusively for ASDA. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. I've seen it there. A lot of people must be buying it. It must be a really good kind of session IPA, if you like. So I thought, let's pick it up, let's review it. Let's see what Badco have done here with this American IPA. Because of course, working with ASDA are not really gonna know too much about a brewing process, but what ASDA understands is margins. So they've probably gone to Badco and said, can you produce a beer nice and cheap, X amount of price, put it on the shelves, see if people buy it? And Badco have gone, we'll give it a go. So I think it was no more than £1.25, £1.50, something like that. So a relatively reasonable, or a very reasonable IPA at 5.2% ABV available at ASDA. Now we got a one finger white head, good levels of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. And you can see, look at that carbonation. There's no widget in this glass at all. It's really lovely looking. And there's a slight haze on the beer as well. That looks fantastic. Great body. Look at the head. As I'm rocking the beer back and forth, you can see the carbonation chasing the head of the glass. Now, Badco, I first come across these guys. They started putting their own beers in places like Morrison's and Tesco, and to be honest, I've not seen what they've done. I've not seen some of their beers for a while, unless I'm not looking in the right places. But I've not seen Badco in Morrison's for a little while. Perhaps they've tied themselves up here with ASDA as an exclusive producer of their canned craft beer for a relatively good price, because that's what you can say about Badco, is that they can get the price absolutely right. They've always been able to do that. They've always been on the relatively kind of cheap and cheerful side of brewing. Aroma then, can we expect too much? Oh, it's very hoppy. Spicy, punchy, tropical. That smells all right. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, first thing I want to say about this beer is the mouthfeel is incredible. As I mentioned in a previous video, we're having a really warm summer here in the UK. It's 29 degrees Celsius by about lunchtime. We haven't even hit the afternoon yet. Temperatures are expected to climb up to about 32, 33 degrees in Wales, and there's not often we have days like this in Wales where the temperature soars that high. So I've chilled this beer down and got it out the fridge. It's really cold. The mouthfeel is incredible. The carbonation pushes the beer down around the inside of the mouth. And predominantly, burping, I'll start again. Predominantly, it's a very, very refreshing beer. And it's got this like tropical, fruity, mango, passion fruit like flavour going on. I would say like a tropical zest. Does that make sense? Tropical zest. But yeah, you can see that lacing. You can see the mouthfeel I was talking about just now. Look at the lacing on the glass. Look at the way that beer rocks back and forth. And you can see the carbonation chasing that head up the glass. Absolutely wonderful mouthfeel. It's really important. I'm wondering if they brewed this beer with oats. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Let's have a look. Malts are Pale Ale, Cara and Munich. They haven't. The hops are Summit, Columbus and Centennial. Brewed and canned by Brewing and Distilling Company Limited, North Hill Road, Dishforth Airfield, North Yorkshire. There's not a lot for the price point. There's not a lot you can say that's wrong with that. Absolutely not. Really good value for money. In fact, I'm going to go back to ASDA. I mean, I do my live feeds on a Friday night. I do the Tuesdays and Fridays, the Stone Crow Virtual Pub. That would be perfect for the Stone Crow Virtual Pub. Get myself about 8 cans of that in. Really tropical, really punchy, really drinkable. Yeah, really good stuff. I like the bitterness on the back end. It's got a nice little bit of sweetness to begin with. It's a good beer. Good beer. And that lace in there tells a whole new story, doesn't it? I've seen beers that they've tasted fantastic, but there's no head at all to them. But look at that. That is really good quality brewing. And again, I'll mention it again. I think I paid about £1.25 for this can. It's not, in 2020, that's not a lot of money for a beer. I was buying beer when I started the whole journey here on the channel 10 years ago, 11 years ago. ASDA was my predominant kind of place where I'd look for a beer. They would have specials, £1 a beer specials, and I mean every single week there would be something different on. And that for me was wonderful because it gave me a chance to review something and back then the channel was on a right budget. Well, we still don't have much of a budget now, but back then £1 a beer to review on YouTube was fantastic. It kept the cost down, everything worked. And if you think 10 years later, a whole 10 years later, you're picking up beers for £1.25 still in ASDA that taste as good as this does. Tropical, punchy, grapefruity, mango, passion fruit. Yeah. I don't think you can go far wrong with that. I really like that beer. I really like that beer for the price point. I'm going to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.